This is an opportunity they do not want to waste. The Atlas Lions have certainly made their way through a demanding path. It's been steady and accomplished. Moments of the spectacular and resilience as well. But they're up against the side with a champion mindset. Senegal seem to arrive with a different aura. And indeed, speaking of auras, the aura of this stadium.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. All across the continent.
You come into this game with the right mindset. That is the mindset, win it, win it, win it.
Here comes the trophy. This will be raised aloft by one team at the end of this fixture. But for Senegal, as much as they believe, as much as they've scored in every game, they're missing three key players today. The outstanding revelation of a right back in Crépin Diatta. They're missing their captain, suspended Kalidou Koulibaly, and they're missing Habib Diarra in midfield. Three critical players in their journey to the final out today.
I think the one that will miss the most will be Diarra, because whosoever controls the midfield today, by my experience, is going to win this game. So that's where it's going to hurt the most.
Three very young players that come in then for those three who are missing. We'll take you through the lineups in a moment, but the fans are in full cheer and in full cry. Tonight is an opportunity for one of these sides to make a statement regarding their African football. Achraf Hakimi leads Morocco. In the absence of Kalidou Koulibaly, it's Gana Gueye who leads this Senegal side. Mutual respect and a warm embrace, and it's these moments, as much as anything, that make these tournaments so special.
Well, the captain is very important in the African lifeline. The way we leave, the captain is kind of like the second straight the manager. He's the manager on the pitch, and it's very important.
There are a few spiritual leaders, as it were, on the pitch, and Sadio Mane stands out as one of those for Senegal. He'll be hoping to get his hands on the trophy for a second time, having been crowned champion in 2021, and he can join a very exclusive club should he win the trophy here and now. The Senegal flag waves proudly, but my word, it is overwhelmed in sheer numbers by the Moroccan flag that is waving around the venue, that is led by those clad in red and green ahead of tonight's final. Both these sides unbeaten, making their way into the final with some quality and credibility. But for Senegal to win it against the hosts in front of nearly 70,000 fervent supporters would be a very rare achievement indeed. But among those hoping to stunt Senegal, Morocco's Brahim Diaz and Ayub El Kabi.
Yes, of course. Like
ሰላም ሰላም እንዴት አምሽታችኋል? ይህ ኳስ ተራ ስፖርት ነው። የአፍሪካ ዋንጫ ፋይናል ጨዋታ በሴኔጋል እና በሞሮኮ የመጨረሻው የፋይናል ጨዋታ ሊደረግ ተጫዋቾች ወደ ሜዳ እየገቡ ይገኛሉ። ሞሮኮ በ70,000 ደጋፊዎቿ ፊት በኪንግ አብደላ ስቴዲየም በሞሮኮ ራባት ይህን ጨዋታ ለማስተናገድ በዝግጅት ላይ ይገኛሉ። ሁለቱ ቡድን ተጫዋቾች እየገቡ ይገኛሉ። ይህን ጨዋታ ያየን አብረን የምናመሽ ይሆናል። በፔፕቲያው የሚመራው የሴኔጋል ቡድን የሮኒ ሜንዲ ማታሳ ማኒኬታ ኤልቢዮ ቱኒ ማሻል ካሜሮን ሊዝ አገናዊ በፔፕ ጉዌ ድሪስ ዲያይ ኒኮላ ጃክሰን እና ሳዲዮ ማኔ ቋሚ 11 ሆነው ተሰልፈዋል። በሞሮኮ ብሔራዊ ቡድን ያለው በዚሁ አዳማ ሶማን አገር አሽራፍ ሐኪሚ ናስር ማዝራዊ ማላ እስማኤል ሰራቢያ ኤል አዮሪ ኤል ዛቢዮሌ ኤል አልከቢ ካሉና ብሪያም ዲያዝ ቋሚ 11ን የሚመሩት ይሆናል። ሞቅ ደብደቅ ያለው ዝግጅት ፍጻሜውን ሊያገኝ አንድ ጨዋታ እድሜ ብቻ ቀርቶታል። በዛሬው ጨዋታ ማን አሸናፊ ይሆናል አብረን እያየን የምናመሽ ይሆናል። ሴኔጋል ብሔራዊ ቡድን ብሔራዊ መዝሙር እየተዘመረ ይገኛል። በሰዓት ላይ ሴኔጋል የ2021 ድል መድገም የሚችል ይሆን? እንዲሁ ሞሮኮ ከረጅም ጊዜ በኋላ የአፍሪካ ዋንጫውን የሚተሳካበት ይሆን? የዋሊድ ሄራጊ ቡድን ይህን ዋንጫ ለማሳካት በሀገሩ አዘጋጅ የሆነበትን ዋንጫ ለማሳት ጥረት የሚያደርግ ይሆናል ብሎ ተናግሯል። አብረን የምናይ ይሆናል። ሴኔጋል 3 ቋሚ ተጫዋቾችን በዚህ ጨዋታ ላይ በዛሬው ጨዋታ አያሰልፍም።
Lilian Rouge, the red lion, the national anthem of Senegal, and now for the Sherifian anthem of Morocco.
የሞሮኮ ብሔራዊ መዝሙር ከዚህ ቀጥሎ የሰማይ ይገኛል። የዚህ ጨዋታ ዳኛ ኮትዲቯራዊ ጃና ግድቡማ ናቸው። እንዲሁ ባርላይት የሪፓስቹ ይገኛሉ።
Formalities all but complete. There is fervour and passion in the house. There is royalty in the venue. And indeed, Kings of Africa will be crowned here and now, this very evening. This night wears a crown, but who will be hoisting the trophy aloft at the end of this tie? Welcome to Rabat. Welcome to the final chapter of AFCON 2025. Senegal have made 3 changes from the side that started the 1-0 win over Egypt in the semi-final. Mendy comes in at right back and Sarr starts in central defence. Mendy is just 21, Sarr is 20, both relatively untested. They come in though for the sick Diatta and for the suspended Koulibaly, the captain. Lamine Camara in midfield comes in for Diarra, who's been sick. But Sunday Olise, what do you make of this Senegal lineup? 3 very young people who make their way into the lineup for experience, but you can't prove you can swim unless you throw it into the deep end, so to speak.
Like your handful is said. But then again, for that notwithstanding, I think these are quality players. And well, at this stage, as a young player, and when you look at what Senegal do in the past, they'll be building on the youth system. So that means that these players are tested players. Sarr has already proven that he's a solid player, so they shouldn't worry that much. But that notwithstanding, they're coming against a very solid Moroccan side that is well orchestrated and really don't know how to find the weak points in defenses.
So this is the Senegal side, though, that is led by the experience of the likes of Ghana Gay and indeed Sadio Mane, who attempts to become one of only 3 players to win AFCON twice and be named CAF Men's Player of the Year on multiple occasions. Ashraf Hakimi and Ghana Gay with an embrace ahead of the start. Jean-Jacques Ndala of DRC is the man in the middle for today's tie. At his 4th African Cup of Nations, it's his first AFCON final, but not his first continental final. He took charge of the opening match, and he can finish it with the final here. Gilam Gila and Badel Bilizi of the DRC are his assistants, and Abogile Tom of South Africa is rewarded for his consistency by being 4th official for the final. In the VAR room, Pierre Acho of Gabon leads a very experienced collection of officials. Morocco, for the 4th consecutive knockout stage match, are unchanged. Yassin Bounou starts in goal. Mazraoui, Massina, Aguerd and Hakimi in the back line. Hakimi only played a handful of minutes in the group stages, but he's been ever present in the knockout stages. El Anoui has been exceptional. He's played every minute of this campaign. Saibari is among 3 players on the score sheet for Morocco. El Khanousin for the injured Onawi in the knockout stages. And El Kabi is the target man. Brahim Diaz, perhaps the key, and the one-on-one man, as Zuli starts down the left. Sunday.
Yeah, I repeat once again, no host nation has won this AFCON since 2006 except for the Cote d'Ivoire. But this Moroccan team is a different breed. They've dominated ever since the group stages, and this is a team that is well rooted and well created well rounded by the trainer.
A sea of red surrounds the pitch, but Nigeria Senegal stand firm. Morocco, with one last reminder from the crowd, they are here to win. We're underway in the final. Morocco in the white with red trim against Senegal in the green with yellow trim. It is the final. History is set to be made. Africa, hold your breath. Rabat roars, because we've got 2 giants fighting for 1 trophy as Mendy gets a first touch. Out to the near side. Here's Antoine Mendy, who plays his first minutes of this tournament in the right back position as Krépin Diatta is feeling unwell ahead of this final.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. That was a big surprise, but it's good that Antoine Mendy started with a very good first touch. That's extremely important in this kind of games for a young player.
44-year-old Pokjo, he celebrates his 45th birthday in just a few days' time. The man from Senegal who won the African Nations Championship by beating a North African host nation when they upset Algeria a couple of years ago. Can he do so again, this time against Morocco in the Africa Cup of Nations final? A decent touch, a quality touch as Moussa Niakhaté brings it under control, and now Lamine Camara, a little short perhaps in finding Mendy, but swings the ball out towards the man who's been solid alongside Koulibaly throughout this championship. But let's talk about young Mamadou Sarr as Diouf brings the ball under control but under pressure from Brahim Diaz. Mamadou Sarr, you'd be well familiar with his dad, Sunday.
Well, I had the pleasure to play against the father in 2002 at the AFCON in Mali.
And what did Pop Sarr do on the day?
He got there right.
Semi-final.
It was sent off, but we lost the game.
I was about to say, at least Senegal made the final, though.
Yeah. And he went on to go to the World Cup, I believe, also.
Yeah, he played against Denmark in the World Cup, and here he has a chance to see his son claim the AFCON title, a title that he was so close to claiming himself. Lovely golden accents on the official match ball, the Itri ball being used for this final, celebrating the 2 finals. One was watching on the 10 presidents and FIFA presidents, the producer and Gianni Infantino. Here's Sarr.
Well, we got over 170 countries that are watching this game at the moment. That tells you how big the AFCON has become.
Lovely ball up towards Jackson. Little touch, decent, out to Mane. Mane streaking away, down he goes. And referee says play on. Mane remains down. Morocco push forward. looking to secure possession. Bilal Al-Khanous and Musraf Hakimi almost collide in midfield. Head back on his feet though.
Could be interesting to look at this foul on Mane.
Walid Regragui in charge of Morocco, undefeated in their last 26 matches, and hoping to continue for just one more. That'll prove to be a crowning glory of a journey that started effectively nearly 20 years ago.
This man has revolutionized totally Moroccan football.
And it's been praised by so many, including Hervé Renard, who is a multiple AFCON champion as coach, having won it with both Zambia and Cote d'Ivoire. Talking about just how much Regragui has changed, not just Moroccan football, but African football. Here's again, streaking away. A lovely touch down the far side there again. Sadio Mane. The little brush on the side of his face is ticked as well, but stays on his feet. He's come to play as Sadio Mane.
You are looking at a living legend in Sadio Mane. When you talk about influential players, he is one gigantic one.
He scored a couple of critical goals for Senegal when they needed him most. He scored in the group stage against DRC, one of the two matches in which Senegal were under a little pressure. He scored the winner against Egypt in the semi-final to secure this final berth. And now Senegal has the early corner. Deep delivery, back post, and not too far away. Oh, how agonizingly close.
The delivery was extraordinarily well played. Once again, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Bruno, shows why he is highly rated.
Pop Gay looking for his third goal of this tournament. He scored twice in the come from behind win over Sudan in the round of 16. Delivery this time is swept to safety by the Moroccan defence. Brahim Diaz with a touch, loses it. Jackson. Ball is bounced and the whistle eventually sounds. Free kick Morocco. But the noise in this venue is so significant that none of the players can hear the DRC referee's whistle sound.
That is understandable. There's a clear foul by Jackson there. Going into his delivery was perfect. But I think the striker could have done better there.
Well, Pop Gay turns 27 next Saturday. The Villarreal man is not unfamiliar with Yassine Bono and his successes. Man who became elite in Spain. Lamine Camara looks to come away, picked up by Hakimi. Now in midfield, Saibari's dropped deep. Missed Manchester victory in the Manchester derby over Manchester City in the Premier League just one day ago.
Believe me, he'll be happy to have missed that one if he wins today.
There are certain sacrifices worth making. There's El Ainoui, one of three players for Morocco that have played every minute of this tournament. El Ainoui, Aguerd, and Bono in goal. Bono looking to become the first goalkeeper to keep 6 clean sheets in the tournament.
He's been extremely important for this team, especially against Nigeria. He made the difference.
Musdarawi dispossessed by Njai. Referee says illegally so. Free kick Morocco.
When we look at these early minutes we've seen, it seems as if the Senegalese have settled better into this game than the Moroccans. Obviously, the pressure of winning this on home turf seems to be taking its toll at the moment.
They've showed signs of that they've needed to lift themselves from the pressure that they've been under. But they've done it virtually every game. The question, though, really is, can anybody score against Morocco? Here's Azazoli, square ball, it's allowed to go through. Edouard Mendy almost bucked off the ball by his fullback in El Hadji Malik Diouf, the West Ham man, who is friends with Naif Aguerd. The time at West Ham overlapped, but they know each other beyond that as well.
That's what you get when you play this Moroccan side. Even when you think you're dominating, they can hit you hard on the counter.
Throw it taken quickly, Mazraoui now, delivery to Kamil. Kamil waits, looking for that deflected header. Very nicely played by Niakate. Mendy left behind as Ozuli stuns it, looking for the counter. Iliman Ndiaye wants to bring it under control. Can't do so here. And throw it to Morocco.
You can count on the Moroccans when they go on defensive mode to always have someone covering a teammate.
Well, you've got a team whose passing accuracy and passing game has been utterly outstanding this tournament in Morocco. But Senegal have played nearly 400 line-breaking passes in this tournament, which is a thoroughly impressive statistic.
Well, they don't play beautiful, but they play effective football. Highly the way they play it. And they are not shy to win games by playing ugly. And that's dangerous, and that's championship material.
Senegal, through Sarr, Niakate, there's Diouf, Papke rather, Diouf on the wide. Back inside, it'll be a free kick to Senegal as Mane is tugged off the ball. Ten minutes have come and gone, goalless it remains. And this is a final. And so seldom do we see high-scoring finals at the African Cup of Nations. In fact, Senegal have played in 3 finals and they've never scored a goal in the final.
Well, you can bet your money the Moroccans are praying that continues.
So, great composure for the 20-year-old who has been signed by Chelsea, played at the Club World Cup as again a moment of magic, potentially sees Senegal with a set piece, and indeed awarded as Papke is down and Naif Aguerd protests.
I think that was a clear foul. I think he struck him way before he got the ball. Now this is where the Senegalese will miss Captain Koulibaly. Set pieces, he was if I can use that word, a beast when he had to set pieces. But then again, Sarr is not a small man either.
There's a few players who'll be looking to rise. Papke, not short either. It'll be Diouf to feed. Diouf over this, decent looking delivery as well, and a little touch from Sarr. And that'll be out for the goal kick. He's never scored a senior goal, Sarr, but he was looking for one here.
Now imagine if your first goal is the one that wins you at the AFCON.
There are certain fairy tales that just can't be written. Well,
that's going to be a new one, right?
Is one of the reasons we love this sport. It is unpredictable by its very nature. Only one goal has actually been scored in Senegal's 3 previous finals, and that was Baghdad Bounedjah's goal for Algeria in 2019.
This is actually the first game I've seen Morocco play that it's taken them 10 minutes to overload the right side.
Yeah, this is the first time that I think we've seen the side spend more time in their final third than they have in their opponents, to be fair. Here's Ozuli, lovely ball inside. Badi looks for the square ball, but again, very tightly marked. And Gana Gay there to protect. Recovery by El Aino. He has to go back to his defense, but it's a scramble ball that Messina will reach. Under a little pressure here from Lamine Camara. It goes back to Bono though. And now Naif Aguerd on the far side. Very elegant, but assertive player. Trusted by Regragui. Here's Sobani. Space opening up. Belkabi calls for the ball ahead of him. Sobani goes, but it's woefully wide. An opportunity lost.
Well, I think he was able to strike that thanks to the run that Kabi gave him. That's it, taking away defenders away. I just missed it.
Sobani scored in the win over Cameroon, looking for his second of the tournament.
He's been actually very important for Morocco, not only by scoring goals, but in work rates that he's brought to this tournament.
Yeah, he's been one of the standouts, undoubtedly. Mendy back inside. Here's El Ainoue, picks up possession. Not only has his passing game been on point, but his ball-winning ability, since he's been asked to play in the central midfield role Sunday, has been so impressive because he was asked to play effectively Sofiane Amrabat's role after the first game.
Yeah, obviously, because Amrabat was getting a lot of criticisms from left and right, as you can see. But the way he's done it, he's not only played defensive like Amrabat, he's also participated in build-ups. And it's made it possible for Morocco to be able to keep, to be more, how do you call it, more possessive when they have the ball.
Iliman Jai looking for the return ball here. Lamine Camara will pick up on it between three Moroccan players. Back to Mendy. Here's Sarr. Diakhaté, captain on the day. Ghana Gay. The Everton man switches it out to the far side where it's brought under control by the Liverpool man, now based in Saudi Arabia and possibly playing his last Africa Cup of Nations match. And that, Sobani comes away with it. Referee says nothing wrong. Belkabi making another run. Sobani, maybe a few too many touches, but recovers. There's Al-Zouli's there. Morocco press inside the penalty area. Inside, outside for Al-Zouli, but a little too heavy. And Mendy does enough to shepherd that ball to the goal line.
Great defender, just getting his body between the man and the ball. That made the difference. Look at this. Body between the man and the ball and make sure that, very good defender.
The man who hasn't played a minute so far, Antoine Mendy, coming in for Khepin Diatta at last minute. Diatta's been a little unlucky. Remember, he had that ACL injury that kept him out of the tournament that they won after being a revelation in 2019, missed the 2021 tournament. Now he's missing the 2025 final, Khepin Diatta. You've got to feel for him.
Oh, I really don't want to think how the man is feeling at the moment.
It must be heartbreaking.
Because this is what you live for. These are moments that you live for as a footballer. You want to play in the finals, And when you miss the first one thanks to injuries, and this one that you feel your feet the night before, and you miss it.
Oh, well, that touch from Lamine Camara through the legs of Mazraoui, who's got the throw in now. Al-Kami was the intended target. There'll be a Senegal throw. Final touch of Al-Kami, who lost his footing slightly.
One thing I can say clearly is that both teams are playing this game. They started this game cautiously. They are making sure that each time they lose the ball, they have bodies behind the ball.
That's a fair point, but still, we've seen 5 shots at goal, though, in the opening 17 minutes, despite the fact that there's an element of caution, undoubtedly.
Yeah, but they've struck those shots even with numbers, against numbers, so you mustn't really a counter-attack so far.
Lamine Camara is down on the turf. He was a star in the making. He turned 22 only a few days ago, Lamine Camara. Man with Monaco. Oh, it looks like he was just bumped by El Ainoue.
Yeah, and the referee is trying to make it realize that he saw it, and he's not going to accept more like that.
So, referee Ndala looking for some man management. Has just issued a warning.
I think that's the best way to handle a final, because you don't want to spoil it by an early yellow card or.
Diakhaté, Papke, Swift out wide, Mane getting involved, and now Jackson with an opportunity. Mane between two, look to take it past Hakimi. Back in possession. Mane switches it to the near side. Iliman Ndiaye. Mazraoui with a touch. That'll be a Senegal throw.
The Senegalese are fully aware that Moroccans are playing under pressure and they are using it. But strangely enough, funny enough, if you notice, every attack, most of the attacks from the Senegalese have gone all through the side of Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane remains as influential as ever, and there have been many since his announcement after the victory over Egypt in the semi-finals. Been many that have been openly trying to encourage him to reconsider his talk of retirement after the World Cup that is upcoming.
Please add me to that list because I really want to see this brother continue playing.
I'll collate a list. Senegal. They're in Group I of the World Cup. They've got 2018 champions France in their opening match. Morocco have record champions Brazil in their opening match. It's certainly not an easy game for either of these sides to start their World Cup campaign. But then they've got Norway, Erling Haaland's Norway, to Senegal, and then they head off to Canada. I think their last game against the Interconfederation playoff winners. As Otami has a chance, Saivani surely offside. That's gone wide.